here, and my new electric unicycle has just arrived from Speedy Feet, so thank you Ian, much appreciated. And so in the tradition, it is a bit of a tradition I suppose, I'm going to do an unboxing. Now, what did I buy? I bought the Begode Master. I was going to buy the Kingsong 16, not 16X, the S22. And there was a couple of reasons for that. I thought the quality may be a little bit better. I thought it might be a slightly safer wheel. And I thought it might be, and I probably still do, think it's probably a slightly easier wheel to ride than the Master. But there's a couple of things that put me off. Kingsong was kind of losing their reputation for quality with the S22 a little bit. They had the stator moving within the motor, which is disastrous and not an easy fix if you've got one which hadn't been repaired. I also didn't like the way that they did the slides on the S22. They're running plastic bushes within the extruded aluminium, which is all that amounts to the suspension. So that arrangement is going to easily get clogged up with dirt. I should imagine that aluminium is a soft metal. It's not particularly appropriate for making sliders out of anyway. And then the plastic, it's probably HDPE or something, Teflon plastic, effectively close as. I just didn't think it was a good arrangement. So I got kind of put off the S22 a bit. But the Begode Master on the other hand is, I mean, clearly the people who ride it like it. I mean, Begode are beset with their own quality issues, and I think the Master itself, I mean, they change things. So, you know, what can I say? But it was the Begode Master I went for, and it's just turned up, so we're going to unbox it. So I've got a bit of paperwork on the top of the machine here, which is just the delivery from FedEx, saying where it came from, so that's good. So a little trick in the unboxing. This is a heavy wheel. I mean, I've got the 9 here, which doesn't weigh anything, but lifting this thing out is a bit more tricky. So there's a little trick that I notice other people in the unboxing are using, and that is rather than to lift the wheel out of the box, we lift the box off the wheel. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to cut the bottom of the box. That's the bottom of the box. Then we'll tip it back up like that, tip it up the other way, this flat out. Now, in theory, with virtually zero effort, I should be able to lift this box off. That's the theory. Let's have a look. I think it's this might work, mightn't it? Okay, that worked. That's one box gone. These heavy wheels, they pack them one box inside another. Very sensible. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll cut the bottom. So we'll unbox it effectively from the bottom. Lift that up a little bit. I can just get in there. do away with the tape. Oh, there's a bit here as well. Look. There we go. Right, so we'll do exactly what we did before. We'll see if we're second time's a charm. So we'll come back. Switch up this way. Lift this flap out. Now we can see the. Well. I'll tell you people, lifting heavy wheels out of boxes is hard work, but lifting the box off the wheel much easier. So what have we got here? We've got the pads, Begode pads. They're the front ones, I think. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, a little bit spongy, but not that spongy. Probably about right, what I would expect. So let's put that up there. We've got a few other things here. Whoa! Speedy Fix tickets. That's funny. I really wanted these. Thank you, Ian. I really wanted your Speedy Fix tickets. I'd heard a story years ago. You know these celebrity multi-millionaire parties? I mean, they cost an absolute fortune. And these people are rich. And one of the things that they do at some of these parties is they give a little gift to the guests that are coming. I mean, it could be a little bracelet or watch. It's probably, you know, I don't know, £30–40 item. But, you know, we're talking about multi-millionaires now getting their little trinket. It's like being given a pen to us normal folk. But one of the organisers of these parties said that if they run out of gifts and, you know, some millionaire's wife doesn't get her little plastic bracelet, a little glass bead bracelet, they go, hey, they go. And I'm a bit like that with the Speedy Feet tickets. You know, these little things, I want them, but I'm going to miss them. It was the same thing when I retired. They give you like a bit of cut glass. And it's not worth anything really, and people are very rude about these retirement things. But if you don't get them, you think, hold on a minute, I've done 40 years with this company, I want my retirement thing. Anyway, that's a complete aside. So here is not a manual. This is, I think it's a bit of a Begode traditional. It says user manual. It says user manual, but actually what it is a list of all their other wheels. So as interesting as that might be, I think people would really like to see a user manual. I mean, not a surprise. I knew that was the case with Begode. They're always the same. But what to do when your wheel arrives? And that's a sensible. Now, that I suspect is Speedy Feet. Put that in there. They haven't labelled it as such, but I can't imagine that Begode would have gone to the trouble of writing that out. Look at that, several pages. So we'll have to do that. Since I haven't read it yet, I'm probably making mistakes even as I unbox it, but we will find that out in due course. Thank you for purchasing the Speedy Feet. Step 1. Right, yeah, some basically riding tips there. And what have we got here? Initial use checklist. Oh, this is dealers, particularly with Begode I suspect, but in general, do a check of these wheels before they go out, which is reassuring because you do hear stories of all sorts of things that the manufacturer lets slip. But we'll have a closer look at that, certainly before I righted it. Ooh, one power supply. Now, one power supply. Yeah, well, it's in an aluminium extruded box. Input 3 amp, yeah, 134.4 volts, 3 amp power supply, model YZ600. Yeah, it's exactly what I expected. No, it takes an ordinary IEC connector and they supply you one, which is good. It's got the GX20 connector, which is a slightly bigger version of the 4-pin connections on the 84 volt wheel. I've got a little project that I'm making that goes in between the charger and the wheel, and it will give me information about the voltage, the current, the watt hours I put into the battery. I will mention that on another video, but yeah, because electronics is my background, but I'll mention that on another video. But for the moment, yeah, we've got good. It's even got a spare fuse left. So that's a 3 amp thing. I think it's 6 hours to charge on a 3 amp charger, something like that. Don't know. I have to look it up. But you know, a 3 amp charger on a 134 volt wheel is probably equivalent to a 5 amp charger on an 84 volt wheel. This come off? No. So in here we have an Allen key, and the pump. Is it a 2 pressure pump? Yeah, high pressure, low pressure. So I think you can do the tyre, but more importantly the shock with this. It goes up to 300 psi. Now 300 for my weight, I probably need 300 psi, if not a little bit more, maybe 330 even. So with that in mind, I'm not sure I've got it here. Bear with me one moment. Yeah, so I'm going to edit out my my lack of continuity here. Anyway, I have bought another pump that goes up to something ridiculous. I think it goes up to about 600 psi. But really, when I looked at YouTube people were struggling after about 200 psi to get any more air into the shop. So if I thought if I got a better pump, I'd be able to put in the 300 or the 330 that I needed. So that I've done. So it's knocking around here somewhere. But yeah, so I think I'm going to need 300 psi, maybe 330, but we will see. So what else we got? We've got 2 more pads. These are the lower pads. Again, in this, they're quite good quality actually, better than I expected. Very necessary. Put those up there. And the machine itself, now look at this. How pretty! Oh, what have we got here? Oh yeah, that's the foot plate. We'll take the covers off the polystyrene off those. I think we'll get rid of that block because it's probably blocking the view. Whoa! So there we are. Actually, it's not quite as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bit larger, which is probably a good surprise. We've got the off-road tyre, which I'm a bit suspect. I bought this road principally for tarmac. I've got the S18, which is the lighter Kingsong wheel, which I think is more suited to off-road. I mean, this is perfectly capable with the suspension will do off-road, I suspect. But, oh, this is interesting. Now, again, in the YouTube videos, you see people on YouTube videos, they grab the suspension here and they rattle it around, like it's really loose. But that's not the case here. That is actually quite tight. Maybe it's because the shock's not inflated, don't know. But it's looking good. Oh, we've got a Speedy Feet sticker on the side there. The display is quite large. Do you know, that's actually quite pretty. It's kind of prettier than I gave it credit for in the pictures I've seen of it. I've got the 50E, Samsung 50E cells, 2400 watt hour. Pedals are, I don't know if they're CNC or cast, they look, well, hard to tell, they could be either. Very distinct studs on them. Foot plates look, again, better than I expected. You know, maybe I'm terrible to Begode, I've got low expectations. But so far, I'm very impressed with that. You've got the batteries. I'm going to have to take the plastic off those. I won't do that now. Shall we attempt to unlock it? So the on-off button is, that is the on-off button, I think. So that's on-off. So now you're supposed to push, I think you're supposed to push that, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then turn it off. Turn it on. Oh, there we are. We're out of transport mode. Display, I mean we're indoors, but the display is battery's fully charged. Display is actually really quite nice. It's kind of this sort of purpley blue LCD display. I've got the battery, the speed, the mileometer, and the temperature, which I think is motor temperature. Don't think it's battery temperature. The free, I'm not sure what the free is. So I think so I turned it off. I'm not going to lift it off by the handle because I don't think the handle is designed for that. I think the handle, I think the trolley handle is, oh actually, there's the suspension travel. Doesn't come up as far as I thought it would. So I'll put my foot on it, maybe encourage it a bit more. Yeah, well, the suspension's relatively free. We'll turn it on. It's running. There's the handle. People were, I think a couple of people, I can't remember, people saying the handle's a bit low, but I'm 6 foot and that handle's perfect for me. I wouldn't need her. The handle, I mean, it's got a plastic top, but it's again, it's more sturdy than I expected. In fact, it's quite solid. Yeah, the plastic cannot lift this machine by its plastic handle. Definitely not. You have to. I mean, I get under the lights here, and by the shock absorber, the back of the shock absorber. So I pick it up from there. But yeah, now, so if I just let go of it there, it's got a tendency just to go backwards. So the weight, I mean I don't know if the foot plates are level. They look as though they are, but yeah, it looks vertical. So there's a slight tendency to roll backwards. It may not be. It may be the foot. It may be just a little calibrated, a little high on the toe at the moment, which may account for why, if I let go, it just hunts backwards. But certainly there's no huge weight balance towards the back. And I've got a feeling that it's a little bit toe high. So when I calibrate the wheel, we will see. But yeah, I mean, it's not excess. The little finger is just there. But yeah, pretty wheel. So lights on the back, I think they're quite fragile. People say they are, and they're exposed. Yeah, not particularly bright. What I've done, because the lights at the back, I mean I think the lights at the front are quite bright, but all you've got at the back is this kind of blue strip. I'm not sure road laws are very happy with blue, but it's only a little bit anyway. But you've got this flat area on the back here, at the back of the battery, so what I want to do is to put some cycle rear red lights here so that people can see you from the back more easily. But they've provided a nice flat surface here, so that's easy enough to do. But yeah, very happy with it. I can hear the wheels scraping past the polythene that's going they're put on the batteries. Got to get that polythene off those batteries. But yeah, I'm chuffed. It's, you know, first impressions out of the box. The trolley handle's better than I expected. The overall quality of the machine is better than I expected. It's prettier than I expected, and I was expecting some movement here, and it's actually nothing wrong with that. That is quite good. There's a rebound adjuster on the shock. The suspension on these is supposed to be a bit softer than the S22, which again I wanted. My S18 has got a fairly progressive shock. I like the suspension on the S18, but by all accounts I think the suspension on this is going to be softer than the S18, which is probably a good thing. Tyre I'm still unsure about, but we will see. it looks pretty enough, but it may need a road tyre. But we'll put some miles on it and we'll see how we get on with the time. But yeah, so that's it for me. One unboxing. Thank you again, Ian. My baby. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun on this. So much fun. And now I see it. Because there's another thing. It's got competition within its own ranks, isn't it? I think this is the wheel that was supposed to take over from the Hero, the Begode Hero. So we've got the Begode Master. And then they launched the T4, and I'm thinking, oh, that's a very nice wheel. And I think Rollway Adam has done a cross-country video on that T4. It's a 16-inch suspension wheel, and he's flying, mate. And I'm thinking, and old Zen, I put some is it Zen? I don't know. On his YouTube channel, I put some comments, and he said, oh yeah, he says, oh, I've looked at your YouTube videos, you might be better off with the T4. And I'm thinking, you know, he may be right, because, you know, 55 miles an hour this thing? I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding. and I think because of the high foot plates, and they are high, compared even to the S18, you know, I think it's going to be a little bit challenging to learn. No, not out of this world, but it's going to be things. So I'm thinking, yeah, you may be very right, or maybe I bought the wrong machine. But actually seeing it now, I'm looking at the size, I thought it was going to be a bit bigger. I mean, it's heavy. I mean, it's 76 pounds, I think. But I thought it was going to be just a little bit more bulky. So that's good news, by the way. Because I'm thinking, yeah, this is manageable. I can live with this, no problem. In fact, definitely can live with this. Very happy with this. So, yeah, I'm a winner. So the display, I don't know about, you know, in the sunshine, maybe you won't be able to see it. I don't know, but certainly at the moment it's looking, you know, it's self-evident. All except for the 3. I don't know what the 3 represents, I'm sure. But yeah, nice big digits. Just, you know, your battery level, you want to know how fast you're going, you want to know the temperature, the motor, yeah, fair enough, even the speedometer, you know, how many miles you've clocked. So yeah, good information. The 3, I have to look that up, what the 3 means. Or maybe it's the mode I'm in, I don't know, we'll look it up. But yeah, very happy. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I have got some work to do. I'm going to have to put the pads on it. I'm going to have to get the polythene off. I'm going to have to read through the instructions. I might not read through the instructions on a video recorder and use it straight away, but that's not the case for this. I'm going to read every word that came with it. I think Ian's put several pages in there. I think that's just sensible, and we'll go from there. But okay, so that's my unpacking video. I've whittled on far too long, as usual, as all my videos. But thank you for watching. Give me a like if you do, and you know, once I've got some miles on this, I'll give you some extra information. Actually, one of the things I don't know, I don't actually know which version of the machine this is. For those who don't know, there's 2 principal versions. One's got battery packs which are 66 volts, I think, 60 something on volts, and the packs are arranged 2 in series on each side, and then the packs on either side and then parallel together. The version 1 has got all the packs in series, daisy chained together. Now it doesn't particularly bother me. It bothers a lot of people because if you've got the one where all the packs are series together, if one connector came loose, you'd lose your batteries. Whereas if you've got the version 2, then a battery, any one battery, get disconnected and you would lose half your batteries. You'd lose the batteries from that side, and of course that appeals to people as a safety thing. But what they yeah, which is fair enough. It doesn't protect you from the motor cable connector coming loose, and it doesn't protect you, but all remembering that these packs are all batteries in series as well, so any loss of a series connection in any of those batteries, you'll lose that particular pack anyway. So I think what's more important is that you treat your batteries properly. You don't leave them in a fully charged state. I mean, it's fully charged at the moment. I will not leave it in that state for very long. I will get some miles on it and get that off. I think if you fully charge your batteries to maximum, you should use it and get that off. Don't leave it for periods of time at full charge. Also, these batteries, you know, you've got to try to avoid bashing them. Try and avoid bashing them. They're only in plastic boxes, and water again. I don't think this wheel is particularly good in the wet. I've got no intention of riding it in wet conditions. I'm a fair weather rider, what can I tell you? Anyway, I'm whittering on again. So I'm off, thank you for watching, and yeah, onward and forward. Let's turn it off. Yeah, there we go, that's good.